Hi guys, we are sitting out here in an RV with some buddies of mine, Doctor Idi to the right, and my buddy It sitting there in the doorway there. And today is just a quick interview with these guys. It's pretty amazing, their story. Doctor Idi is from California, and he's up here, and throughout the winter he's lived in this RV here, which is pretty amazing. Let me tell you what, if you've ever been to North Dakota, it gets pretty damn chilly up here in the winter, and we're just gonna get some information from Dr. Idi to see his take on the North Dakota winters in RV and RV life in general. So Dr. Idi, if you could give us a rundown of your life, let us know how the RV life was this winter in North Dakota.
Not near as bad as I expected it to be, actually, and I was forewarned that if I go up there I'll be dead because I'm not from here and not used to the weather. I did a lot better than I expected I'd do. That beyond tangy tangerine and some ginseng, all that vitamin C will keep you warm. You add ginseng to it, you actually sweat. Oh. Fortunately at night I had a couple of little heaters, costing me about $5 a day to run the power, but I'm a labor ready dirt monkey, so no problem. Just pedal my butt into town, get to work, come back, make sure the bill's paid. I didn't have any real problems except some curious passers-by on occasion, but nothing really major. Overall I liked it.
Alright.
I'm still getting used to it. It'll probably take a couple more years before I'm really used to it, but I think it's bitchin'. Beautiful up here. This is what it was back in California when I was in high school. And they have destroyed my state, for which they will pay dearly. Wait till I get a hold of them.
Right, there's a lot of messed up shit going on in this country.
Well, we got in California, the wannabes trying to take the place over from down southwest, thinking they own the place, the Reconquista, La Mancha, and all that other horse shit. I think what we ought to do is just go Ulysses S. Grant and Robert E. Lee on their asses and run them back down to Mexico City, draw the border 10 miles above Mexico City, take Camp Pendleton and move it down next to the damn new border, and then make the West Coast Canal, because we gave China the Panama Canal like a bunch of clown hole idiots, and we would regenerate some revenue for both countries. Maybe they'll want to stay home, because staying here will be very costly for them.
Yeah.
Beyond.
Alright, Dr. Idi, can you let my viewers know what brought you to North Dakota area?
Primarily, or initially, work, as well as the weather, actually. But the work was, I quit driving taxi back in California because I drove in Anaheim where Disneyland is, and our business fell off so crappy that it was difficult to pay rent daily, much less get food and pay lease and gasoline. So I came up here for work. I was told they had over 20,000 jobs in this state, which they do. Anybody need a job might want to come up here. I looked for 18 months. I used to manage a muffler shop. I used to design for hooker racing headers. I'm not bad when it comes to getting under a car. I'm actually rather proficient, but I guess you're not supposed to have fun at work. Because to me, that stuff was so fun, it was easy. It wasn't even work. It was just going to work and having fun and getting paid for it.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
It's, you know, the only difference between me and Mick Jagger is he got paid a hell of a lot more. But,
got laid a hell of a lot more too, I bet.
18 months I looked to find a job for $10 an hour washing private motor coaches like Prevost and Royal Coaches or whatever the heck the other name is. There's about 8 of them that we carried that were the top of the line availabilities. But that's not a living wage in Southern California. $10 an hour isn't quite a living wage here. The rent might be a little bit cheaper, but the food is just as much, and the gas is just as much. So that'll bring in my water breakers eventually, and that'll cut that back. That's why I got an older truck, so I can put the water breaker on it and probably run the thing on water. If you look up Stanley Meyer's water-powered car on YouTube, you'll see a little old man driving from LA to Washington, D.C. in about 26 gallons of water, not a drop of gasoline, to turn in the patents on his water fracturing system. I did a bit of work for a company in Costa Mesa installing them. I was their field installer and installation supervisor, putting water breakers on semi-trucks. They do work. They'll drop the opacity, which is the black smoke that pours out the tailpipe, from 40 or so percent down to 2 or 3% regularly. Completely reliable. But first things first, I came up here, got certified in welding, and I'm still at labor ready because I need to continue bolstering myself a little bit more solid to get to and from work. I got some work to do on my truck. Once I get financially stable, I can continue on. Between all the walking, all the steps you got to take, it's not really a problem. I have no problem walking. I've walked here from town. A lot of steps isn't a big deal. It only took 4 hours. I've had a lot of stuff to do that took a lot longer than that. All you got to do is keep your beak on a grindstone, stick with God and your diligence, your two best friends, you'll get it done. But if you ain't got your beak on a grindstone, you ain't making a shitload of sparks, you ain't nothing but a wuss. And that ain't how this country was built.
Alright, Dr. Idi, so before moving to North Dakota, have you lived in an RV before?
Yeah, just a bit. I used to manage a place called American Muffler in Costa Mesa since high school, when they started their city crap and relocating shops and running businesses out of town for the UN protocol through the EPA. I pretty much got sick of it and decided that it'd be smarter to be elsewhere, but I tried like hell for quite a few years. I even diminished myself down to, well, initially bought a 10-foot Aloha travel trailer, and then me and the ex bought a 26-foot Winnebago, and then once I realized that she was at least part-time possessed, before I realized and was told that her bloodline was pertinent, I got myself a little 19-foot 67 Winnebago. I've been in motorhomes, pretty much RVs, 20 freaking years. That's the only way to survive when you don't got enough money to go pay $1 billion for your rent, seemingly. Right. Plus your food, your insurance, and your gas, and all the other crap that they demand that you have. Insurance and all this other strong-arm purchases they demand you make. I had about enough of it. And then once I started putting together the combination with the ex, and her mom being a Garrettson and her dad being a Johnson, probably related to that Lyndon B piece of crap that had a good president murdered for no frickin' reason because he's a stupid big-eared bitch. I wish that punk was still alive. I'd be glad to talk to that little weasel bitch. But nonetheless, her bloodline, which is comprised of those two, really got her going pretty hard. I woke up one morning at 3 in the morning, she had a full gallon of vodka, beat me over the head, the shoulders, the neck, down my side, all the way down to my legs, and back up to my head, trying to kill me in my sleep.
Crazy one.
She couldn't hit a snail and break its shell with that swing, but I don't think she realizes that working for the chicken will drain you far more than you'll ever realize. That's how it gets fed. The chicken in my reference is a fallen angel herself, and if you ever look at that piece of crap, it looks like a chicken bimbo with no feathers to me. Therefore, hence I call Satan the chicken. Who else would have someone else do their dirty work and say, I don't exist? A chicken shit. So, come on down, chicken, because I'm going to fry you and disparticulate you off my planet. Then everybody might be able to be happy. But that's when I get a hold of some electrophysicists and get some discussions down and do some calculations with their knowledge. I don't know everything, but I know a lot of some things. And I think that's a good enough start for the recipe I got in mind. I've been a designer for quite a while. You want to design something, you immerse yourself in the subject matter. Once you understand it, you envision what you need, then you create it. It's really not hard. Just fire up the engine, turn the key, kick the pitch on, and tack up the RPMs. You'll do fine. It helps if you catch traction. But if not, keep digging. Eventually you will. But between realizing that radio signals don't go so far in the cold, and the chicken basically is nothing but an old radio channel that probably operates at 666 hertz, not megahertz, I don't think it's implausible that we could disparticulate that bitch and get her off our planet. But to help slow her down from bugging me personally, I also thought the cold air up here might help at least cut her back during the winter time. Another reason for my formula to come up here. You got work? You got no chicken hardly? I can deal with that. Once I get done building my shit, we won't have no chicken ever. But I'm not done yet. Like I said, I need to become a little bit more financially stable, and then I can start tinkering in my little tinker shop, and God only knows what I'm going to come up with.